Hi everybody, this is Penny with Shatter the Silence. I'm going to try this again, maybe on take one. So glad to see you all again, and I'm so sorry that I'm late. I know I promised you Wednesdays. Here it is Thursday night. I had a cross-country meet today, and my daughter did amazing. My son did amazing. I'm so proud. And I'm here with you tonight, and I'm so happy to be here. I promised you my story today. I will apologize ahead of time, Mom. I know that we're not really talking, but I have to tell my story because it's my story to tell, and I am going to tell it. So here it is. I was molested. I was masturbated. I had to masturbate him. I was penetrated. All the good things that go along with a sick perpetrator like him. And I survived it. And I'm here to talk to you about it. And I think peer sharing is a very good way to get others to talk, because we need to open up and break the stigma. You have nothing to be ashamed about. You didn't do this to yourself. This is human will. This person did this on their own will. The one thing I learned early on when I started going to church in middle school, a friend, Suzette, asked me to go to church. And that's when I changed. And that's when I took God as my Savior. And I have never looked back. I have never questioned God again. That's it. That's it. People say, how can you not question God? Look what he did to you. Why? How can you not question that he is having children sexually trafficked? And how can you not question God with the wars? And one thing we need to pray about is Las Vegas and all of us. How can you not question it? That's human will. I don't question that because I don't think God does that. I think God wonders what you're going to do with the tools that are given to you after something like that happens. And I'm glad to say that I've been given the tools and I'm here to help you. And so that's God's plan for me. I truly believe that. My plan in life, via God, is to help you and to do anything I can to help victims of molestation, rape, sexual assault, whatever it is. And so my story, that's what I promised you, and that's what you're going to get tonight. This will be a hard pill to swallow for my mother. And where are we in our relationship? As far as I'm concerned, it's a toxic one, and I have had to take toxic relationships out of my life. I forgive all of them. Forgiveness is a very important thing. However, there comes a time when you have to step back from toxic relationships and let that be, because it can't suck up all of your energy. You have to make room for the positiveness and be available for those people who really need you and those people that you really need to help. And toxic people just suck you dry. So that's where I'm at. So let's get to it. I was, from what I can remember, about age 3 to 6. And every Saturday, my stepfather had visitation. And so I would go down to his house, and he would molest me. He would penetrate me. He would masturbate me. I would masturbate him. We would watch pornography. All the good things that the molestation perpetrators like to get off on. And what do I remember? I remember nothing but the inside of that house. I can probably draw that out for you still to this day. I remember his arms from the forearms down. I don't remember what he looked like really. I remember the TV, where it was placed, the chair, the pornography that was on, his hands, the smell, that sticks out. The stench of sex and sweat and dirt combined. And his fingers look like a mechanic's fingernails, the dirt underneath the fingernails that really sticks out for me. And, and him always saying, "Who's Daddy's girl?" and threatening that he would kill my mom if I ever told. So I didn't, and it took a long time. So finally, it got particularly bad, and I had to basically say, I'm going to have to tell her, and I made her guess, and she did not make me go back after that. But she did not turn him in, and she did not talk to me about it. That's re-victimization, and don't do that, parents. Be involved. You have to know that you love them. You're going to be involved. You're going to help them through this, and you have to find them a counselor that has experience in sexual assault. A life coach that has experience in sexual assault. Because the whole plan, as far as I'm concerned, is to shatter the silence, take back your life. You need to get the right people, the ones who have experience, and then take back your life, meaning this is what I'm going to do going forward. Because what we're doing isn't working. We're not getting the right people. We're not going to the right people. If the parents are even sending them to the right people or anybody at all. So I went through life not even knowing that she cared or even wanted to remember it. And at some point in your life, I think that you go through the grieving process, and that's denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Sometimes people can get stuck in one. Sometimes people can go through all of them. Sometimes you go back and forth, kind of like when somebody passes. And I did go back and forth, and lucky for me, Ronald Reagan came out with a campaign about that time, and it was called "It's Not Your Fault." And they had adopted a child named Michael. He's still alive, and he had been sexually molested. And turns out Ronald Reagan had too. And so on my off hour, I would ask the librarian, would you please hold on to all of his they came in pamphlets, they came in books, anything he brought out. And she said, sure, a lot is coming out. And so I would read and read and read. And she kind of caught on. She said, Penny, there's 2 psychologists in town. Why don't you go talk to one of them about your report? And so after cross country, I would go down every Thursday and talk to them. It wasn't until recently I figured out they never charged me. So bless you if you ever see this. I would love to talk to you again because I don't even remember your name. And that helped me because I really did realize it wasn't my fault. I didn't wear too cute of clothes or too short of shorts or whatever it was. And then I did go through the time when I couldn't see an end to it. I was going to church with my friend Suzette, who had invited me. I had the Lord as my Savior at that time, and I never questioned him. From then on, never still to this day. People say to me, well, how can you not question God? Somebody molested you. How can you not question him for making him do that to you? And I said, that's man's will. God didn't make that happen. He did that on his own. So it's what I do with the tools that I've been given to go forward. And we need to say a prayer about what just happened in Las Vegas. That's man's will. God didn't make that happen. Same with the wars, all of it. This country is just, it's scary what's happening. But I'm not going to question that. That's not God doing that. That's man doing that. And Lord help us. I mean, you better get your affairs in order, because to me, I feel like something's going to happen soon. So anyway, I couldn't see a way out. As strong of a Christian as I was at that age, your brain's not fully developed anyway. I did decide I was going to kill myself. And, I didn't know how to tie a knot. We didn't have the internet. Our garage wasn't sealed well. So I decided to jump out the window, or out the top of the house. My best friend, Tisha, you've saved my life a million times. I love you to the end of the earth. She called me right when I was crawling out the window. And I never left a note because I didn't think my mother deserved a note. And we talked on the phone for a long time and laughed and had a great time. And after that, I never tried it again because I knew I would go to hell and I would see him again. I didn't want that. And so a series of events happened, and, I ended up, my mother, I was modeling at the time and had a great cross-country career. I thought I would be going to college on scholarships, and I secretly hoped the Olympics and all of that. I went to the Junior Olympics, and my mother put a kibosh to that. We got in a fight, and she left for the weekend and put boards on the windows and was sure I didn't get in the house. I did get in the house, got everything I owned, and I ended up moving out. And so this was probably 8th grade, 9th grade, in there somewhere. And I got everything I owned, moved into a place with 2 other girls, and one morning, after many months, the police came and said, "Penny?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "You have 2 choices. You can either go back to your mother's house or you can go to foster care." So I chose to go to foster care. And it was then that my best friend Tisha's mother, Honor, she said, "I begged your mom if you could come live here until you know what you're going to do after high school." And I joined the Navy. And I had wonderful counselors in the Navy. And that really taught me so much. I learned forgiveness. And people, when you learn forgiveness, forgiveness does not mean they get a free pass. Forgiveness means you get a free pass. You get to have them. All that memory, all that hatred, you let that go. And that is a wonderful feeling. And you'll carry that through relationships and all kinds of things through your life. Sometimes it's easy to forgive because you forgive toxic people over and over again. But, you learn it's their stuff. It's not your stuff. It's their stuff. So you let that go. You don't forget, but you let that go. So, my video is getting long tonight, so we will continue. I urge you to send me a private message if you have any questions and you want to talk to me. Shatter the Silence, Take Back Your Life on Facebook. And I look forward to talking to you next week. And any other questions, please feel free to PM me on Facebook. Please like this and share it, and let's break that stigma. Thank you.